Hello guys, welcome to our second video of this series of 3 videos where we explain modal verbs. In our first video we saw what is a modal verb, how to use them correctly, and some modal verbs as can, could, may and might. And in this second video we're gonna see the rest of the modal verbs, so we hope you enjoy it. The modal verb shall has three characteristics. The first one is that we only use it in formal speech. The second one is that we only use it with first person. That means that we're going to use it with I and with we. And the last one is that we utilize shall when we want to make suggestions or offers. Okay? So an example of this would be, shall I offer you a drink? Since we are suggesting ourselves to do something, that's why we only use it with the first person. The modal verb should has two simple uses. The first one is when we want to give an advice or a recommendation. For instance, you should do your homework. It's not something that you're obligated to do, but you should do it because it's your responsibility. And the second use is when we talk about something that is likely to happen in the present or the future. And an example of this is, I should be graduated by 2026, because I'm assuming that will happen in the future. The modal verb must has one main use, and it is to indicate an obligation, something that if you don't do it, it will have a big repercussion. An example of this is, you must drink water, because if you don't drink water, you'll die. And that's the main difference between should and must. Should, it's not an obligation, and must, it is an obligation. Then there's the second use of must, which is using its negative form, which is must not. And we use it when we want to talk about prohibitions, something that you must not do it at all cost. An example of this is, you must not rob a bank, because you are breaking a law.
We're only missing two verbs now, will and would. In the case of will, we use it to talk about future situations, whether if it's a prediction, a promise, an offer, or even to ask for help sometimes. Its negative forms are will not and won't. We have to differentiate between will and going to, since both are used to talk about the future. In the case of will, we use it when the situation is uncertain and somehow unlikely to happen. And in the case of going to, we use it when the situation is about to happen or when we take a decision to do something in the future. An example of this would be, I will go to Switzerland one day. And with going to would be, I'm going to Switzerland next week, for example. Would is the past form of will, and it is used in two main particular cases. The first one is when we're talking about conditional sentences, and the second one is when we're talking about past habits and to make invitations more politely. Its negative forms are would not and wouldn't. Some examples of it would be, we would be happier if we talk every day, when we're talking about conditional, and another example would be, would you take a coffee with me? Well guys, and now that we know all the modal verbs included in the guidebook, we are heading to keep learning about the modal verbs, since in the next video we'll be talking about perfect modals. And stay tuned for more information, more material, and the last video of this mini course. Bye bye!